Hi, my name is Malin Fitzpatrick, and I'm from Robertson Stevens. I'm here to speak about the most recent stimulus package that was passed. I'm sure you've read a lot about the package, and it's formally known as the Appropriations Act of 2021. It became effective on December 27th. The Appropriation Act clarifies items in the CARES Act, modifies and extends existing programs, and ends a few key programs. I will focus on the key takeaways that will most likely impact individuals. For retirement plans, you will need to take required minimum distributions as you normally would pre-2020. There is no temporary waiver for RMDs for defined contribution accounts. For people who did take RMDs in 2020 and wanted to reverse them, you cannot if you haven't already. The 60-day rollover rule still applies as it did before 2020. The CARES Act charitable contribution benefits are modified and extended. You may deduct up to 100% of an individual's AGI when making an all-cash contribution to a charity in 2021 as you could in 2020. Note that donor-advised funds are excluded from this change. While the ability to deduct up to 100% of an individual's AGI as a charitable contribution sounds good in theory, the reality is, from a tax planning perspective, it's actually a poor strategy for high-income individuals. A deduction for 100% of an individual's AGI means offsetting income in the highest tax bracket, which is good, but also at their lowest income tax bracket, which is not as good. From a tax planning perspective, individuals may be better off splitting their total deductions over several years and not claiming a cash charitable contribution for 100% of income. Since each situation is unique, please contact us if you'd like a more in-depth look into an optimized charitable giving strategy. The rebate checks largely mirror the rules and guidelines that were used for the first round of stimulus checks authorized by the CARES Act. This time, there is a $600 base amount for each eligible individual taxpayer and dependent who can be claimed under the child tax credit. The individual must be under the age of 17. So a married couple with 2 children under the age of 17 will have a base amount of $2,400, 4 times $600. The phase-out for the rebate is an AGI of $75,000 for single and $150,000 for joint filers. The base amount that the taxpayer qualifies for is reduced by $5 for every $100 above the threshold. If the AGI of the couple with 2 children was $150,100, their base amount is adjusted downward by $5 from $2,400 to $2,395. For another data point, this couple with 2 kids is entirely phased out if their AGI is $198,000. The rebate is a 2020 refundable credit based on the AGI reported on 2019 tax returns. Other notable changes for individuals are that there's no further student loan relief. With respect to federally backed student loans, the CARES Act suspended collection efforts on defaulted loans, suspended payments, and set the interest rate to 0% through January 31st, 2021. The Appropriations Act of 2021 does not extend this relief. The hurdle rate for medical expense deductions is permanently reduced from 10% to 7.5% of AGI. To encourage business spending at restaurants, the Act allows for a 100% deduction of food and beverage expense provided by a restaurant whether you dine in or take out. This is effective for 2021 and 2022, but not retroactively for 2020. This is not an individual taxpayer benefit, but your employer may allow you to expense meals that they would not have allowed before. The final key takeaway is that the federally subsidized unemployment benefits are extended. Regular and self-employed unemployment compensation is extended by another 11 weeks. The extended benefit is less generous than the CARES Act and is reduced from $600 to $300 a week. This federal benefit is in addition to the state-determined unemployment compensation. These were the highlights of the new stimulus deal specifically for individuals. If you'd like more information or have any questions, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you and have a good day.